After spending 10 weeks in Colombia, we crossed the border into Ecuador and we noticed the flag. The bright yellow at the top of the flag is their version of the sunshine. The blue on the second line is the nation's river and a clear blue sky. The red represents the blood spilled by the heroes and soldiers who fought for their independence and freedom. Quite unique. The name Ecuador was chosen because the country sits right on the equator and dividing the north and the south. The currency in Ecuador is the US dollar, which simplifies the transactions for many of us travellers. You can get an e-visa online and you only get 90 days every 12 months. And you need a yellow fever certification. It's mandatory for travellers entering. After spending a couple of months in Colombia, we crossed the border into Ecuador, and this map shows you our travel plan. If, like me, you cross the border from Colombia into Ecuador, don't miss this sanctuary. It's right at the border. It's La Lasas and it's well worth the visit. It's a very small area, but as you can see from these photographs, it's well worth a couple of hours of your time as you head south into Ecuador. We were fortunate we chose the Traveller's Rest Hostel, and this is a 5-star hotel masquerading as a hostel. It has spotless rooms, breakfast included, all for $12. There was egg, bread, fruit, yogurt, coffee, and if you wanted more, all you had to do was ask. The staff were so accommodating, well worth the stay. Otavalo is a very interesting town. It's surrounded by beautiful countryside with the volcanic eruption hopefully not coming out of the mountain in the distance. After visiting the sanctuary, we jumped on a 3-hour ride on a bus down to the Otavalo area, and we wanted to be there for Saturday, so we stayed 2 or 3 days. Why Saturday? The Otavalo market is on a Saturday, and again, it's like the church and the sanctuary there. You shouldn't miss it. If you look at the photograph on the right, towering above the fruit and vegetables in the marketplace, that's a volcano, and some great hikes in and around that area. We were sitting outside the church in the top slide there, and the music coming out through the doors was absolutely beautiful. So we decided we'd wander in and listen to it. As we got in, the church was very full. Everyone was dressed in suits, shirts and ties. I had a bright yellow shirt on, pretty close to what Lance Armstrong did in the Tour de France. Then came the collection box, and everyone was shaking hands. And I looked down to the front of the church, and there was a coffin. We had wandered into a funeral, spectacularly dressed. A discreet exit followed, while suppressing laughter and whispers as apologies. God rest his soul, not the sole of his shoes, I might add. Our next stop was Quito. We were on our way to Cuenca, and Quito is the capital of Ecuador. It has a population of about 2.8 million, but importantly it stands at 9,350 feet, which makes it either the highest or the second highest national capital in the world. It's a big, busy city, and our stay there was just for 2 or 3 days. The statue is a prominent monument which is located in Quito. It's also known as the Virgin of Quito. The slide on the left is Venezuela Street, and if you follow that street right to the top, you will come to the Basilica de Voto, and then the picture on the right is what it's like inside. It's a little steep climb, but well worth the effort. After a couple of days in Quito, we jumped on a local bus, for our main goal here was to visit the Mitad del Mundo, the center of the earth. This slide shows some friends who were travelling with us in Otavaldo, and as you can see from the photographs, we had some fun. But the important photograph is the one in the top left hand corner. That's Lorraine eating a guinea pig, and that thing in her hands is the guinea pig's head. It's about to be devoured. We checked out the tour prices to come to the centre of the earth, and they were $20 per person. We found the bus fare was 80 cents. Actually, transportation here is very laughably cheap. $1 per hour between cities and 25 cents per ride within the town. Meals, now that's a different story. For $1.75, it rises to a dizzy height of $2.50 if tablecloths are involved. But I saved that for extravagance, for special occasions. We decided to splash out and spend some of our transportation savings and got the full experience fee, $7.50 per person. That was the entrance into the building and also to some museums within the park. The photograph on the right is Lorena standing with her feet in two different hemispheres, and just to prove it, I took photographs, and there it is right in the center. Our next stop was Baños. Lorena and I had been here before and we found it quite exciting. But you have to take into consideration Baños is basically a ramshackle town. It's not much to write home about, but the setting is spectacular and the surrounding countryside is unbelievable. If you look from the photograph here, you can see the centre church stands out against the backdrop of all these modest buildings with that big river running through the middle. Its nickname is the Gateway to the Amazon. Fits it perfectly. The main reason for our return to Baños is there's lots of hiking, and as you can see from this photograph, there are as many waterfalls, and there's some quite interesting places what they give you to view them. As you can see here, Lorena likes swinging, so we started her off on a nice gentle approach.
Levántalos, tío. Saluda. ¿Te ayudó? No, esto está bien. Eso está bien.
After her gentle swing downtown, we decided to pop up into the forest for a little bit more excitement.
Don't break, Kayhan!
She's not. She's doing it right.
Almost!
Baños is famous for its zip lining through the jungle, and it's well worth doing.
No me tiene bien, yo estoy lista.
I always thought Lorena was the superwoman, and here she proves it for all to see. I didn't want Lorena to have all the fun by herself, so I got dressed up as an ape, and this is me doing a little bit of climbing through the trees.
There you go, back up. You're gonna have to jump somewhere. Oh, you have to jump. Very good. What a fun.
The next couple of slides are some of the many things that Baños has to offer. I couldn't resist including that photograph of the trumpet flower. Absolutely beautiful.
Sí, 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 sí. Are you having fun? You're not. Are you smiling, having fun?
I took my ape's costume off and had a pleasant ride across the jungle. After 6 days in Salinas, we headed a little bit further down the coast to a little fishing village, Playas, and we rented a beachfront apartment for $450 a month. Across the street we found a family with a 10-year-old boy and 4 children, and they were basically living day to day, and every time we passed the children greeted us. I bought them a football, and every night when we saw them we played football together. Before we knew it, Christmas has arrived. Now Santa somehow left a dozen plus presents at our place, 3 for each of the children, all wrapped and labelled. And when we crossed the street, their smiles and their whispers, "For me," made it one of the most memorable Christmases Santa has ever done for me. The youngest child was only 9 months old and had not been christened, we found out. So we went to the church and we spoke to the local priest and arranged it all. The family insisted that Lorraine and I be godparents. I still have a photograph of me holding the little girl over the font as holy water was sprinkled on her forehead. Life has a way of offering us moments you just never planned for, and these often are the ones that will stay with you forever. This slide shows you how we enjoyed the beach and the people that we met on the beach in Playas. We took the opportunity to visit this small zoo to see the Andean bear, which we'd never ever seen before. This slide shows a few opportunities that we took as we were travelling. On the left-hand side, we were on a 4-hour bus journey, and that little girl was sitting with her grandmother, and she decided to join us. And then I remembered I had that little dog in my bag, and so I gave it to her. She was so happy. Top right, that little boy we stopped, he had a snake in his hand, and I think that's Lorena's first chance of ever touching a snake. Bottom corner, there was a little school with all those children in, and I took the opportunity of teaching them English, and they got a present and a prize every time they got their answer right. On this slide, on the left-hand side, is the archaeology site in Inca Pica. And if you look over to the right, can you spot the face of the man in the mountain? On this slide, in the bottom left, that was our apartment. It was first class. Top left, that's Lorena standing outside the church in the centre of the city. And the bottom right, that's her in the same place, but on a night time. I also got myself a suit made while I was there. This slide just shows you a few things you can expect to see as you wander around Cuenca. Top left, yes, that's guinea pigs. They're being roasted. Lorena was so happy to see them. Bottom left, you see many cakes on many of these stands. This is why I love this place. So over to the right, you can see people washing their clothes in the river. The water is freezing cold, so how those ladies do it is beyond my comprehension. In the top right, I got myself a job making pancakes. This slide just shows you a few of the scenic views you can see as you wander around Cuenca. It is quite a beautiful place. I couldn't resist including this slide. Nature is such a beautiful creator. That flower on the left hand side and Lorena standing against the trumpet flowers on the right, first class. Bottom left, we're not quite sure what the little lady on the counter is doing, but we kept well out of our way. And the statue is a unique statue that's in Cuenca. This slide is the most important slide you've seen in this total presentation. It's regarding the indigenous children. And we got the opportunity to volunteer and work 3 days a week in the school. Top right, that's me teaching them maths. And the little boy in the right hand corner, he was a mathematical genius. The problem was he was an indigenous child, so his chances of getting anywhere were pretty slim. On the left, on the top, there was no telephones or anything to play with. They were playing with the leaves. In the bottom left is where they were lining up to come into our classroom. We've been to Ecuador 3 times now, and every time we go, we always find something that is quite unique and very, very interesting. The end. We really hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as we have enjoyed the last 14 years of travelling the world. Travelling, the only way to live.